These advertisers, these movies, these commercials, these whatever, do not care. It's a good channel. Like, of course, I'm going to make my disclaimer. I don't know every single company. I haven't spoken to any CEO of any top major 500 company. Okay, I get it. But I would just assume that they don't care about you. They don't care about the situation, your economic situation, your community, nothing. Hey, thank you for watching Power to the Pod, where we're committed to an intellectual integrity and a moral honesty. I'm your host, Superior, and once again, thank you for watching. Now, in this video, I want to try to figure out when a grifter, when an opportunist runs out of material to talk about. You know, there's no Mexicans to invade our country, to take away, you know, all the suburban schools and houses and jobs. There's no, you know, thugs running the streets looking to hijack your car, looking to rob stores and take your white women, I guess. You know, there's no, you know, Islamic terrorists. There's no brown people to kind of scare people of, you know, foreigners, you know, countries outside of America, obviously. When there's no fear-mongering topics for them to talk about, what do they think about? How do they try to find content? You know what I'm saying? Me as a YouTuber, I'm constantly trying to figure out what would my audience want to watch that I find passionate too, that I could talk about. And then Mario happened. Yes, Mario, not the actor Mario. I'm talking about the cartoon movie Mario happened. And I watched it with my family, and it was a pretty decent movie. I grew up playing Mario, and it was fun to watch. I didn't have anything crazy to say about it. But, of course, these opportunists will find anything to try to inject some sort of woke message or anti-woke, and this is why this succeeded, because there was no woke message, and it's like, but maybe it was a good movie. Like, maybe that's let's go ahead and watch this video, and let's hear Steven Crowder and Alex Jones talk about the reason why Mario, the movie, was so successful. Let's take a listen and let's have that conversation.
The Super Mario Bros. Movie is the highest-grossing animated film of all time. It crushed its competition with an out-of-this-world 204 million domestic and 377 million global over the long Easter weekend. Some commentators think this success could be due to the lack of wokeness, with the movie supposedly being actually anti-woke. That's what Louder with Crowder host Steven Crowder and guest Alex Jones had to say about the film. Let's watch.
Mario Brothers just set a global opening weekend record for animated films.
Nice.
$377 million on a $100 million budget. Nice. And let's, I think, we have a clip actually from the film.
I got this. No problem. Yes!
Come on, Mario! Our big adventure begins now!
Get it off, get it off, get it off!
Why Top Gun did so well.
Yeah.
And they're not even right-wing. They're just leave people alone and let them have a fantasy. That's why I can't watch anything on Netflix now. It's all brainwashing. Everybody knows that, but that's my same question. Why is Anheuser-Busch committing suicide? Why did Hollywood commit suicide? Why is the left doing this? Why are they like kamikaze?
Did you see the Super Mario Bros. Movie yet, Brianna?
I haven't yet had the privilege, Robbie, but I know you caught it.
Oh, I saw it.
And
I saw
loved
it. I liked it very much.
Okay, so before they even get into it, one, I highly doubt they can explain what woke is and what is anti-woke. Usually when you're anti something, you're fighting. You have an agenda opposite of it. Or was it lacking wokeness? And I mean, if you really kind of want to nitpick, and I think they're gonna kind of get into it, it was actually a little woke. I mean, not extremely woke. Like they're just now, waking up out of the bed, still rubbing, the sleep out of their eye. It wasn't fully woke. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see Princess Peach, just throwing them hands but I mean, it was a little woke, but it's like, what does that even mean for a fantasy all made up? Everything is, we have talking mushrooms for Pete's sakes. And we want to try to interject our real world perceptions into a made up fictional world. I mean, are we that desperate?
So I agree that it is not. I guess it's anti-woke by virtue of not being woke. This is such a kind of sad and limiting framework by which to
is it the dumbest timeline we're living in?
Adjudicate things. But yes, it doesn't have it's very simple. It doesn't really have any discernible agenda whatsoever. Honestly, it's a little too simple. I could have had a little bit more plot going on.
Oh, was it a children's movie?
It is, in fact, a children's movie. And I saw it with an honest-to-God child. I abducted one off the street so that I wouldn't, sit in the theater like a very pathetic 34-year-old man. But Princess Peach was a little bit girl bossy. She naturally excels at the platforming obstacle course thing that Mario struggles at. So I'm actually a little surprised that conservatives didn't pick up on that as a kind of Mary Suing thing.
It's funny you mention it because they absolutely did.
Yeah.
In fact, in the days before the release to the movie, conservatives complained that the movie was too woke for precisely that reason.
Yeah.
That Princess Peach had too much agency, and what happened to princesses and being able to save damsels in distress. And some people even said the movie was woke because there was a Rainbow Road, a notable feature of Mario Kart the game that this movie is based on, and that the rainbow of the road was too LGBTQIA.
Yes, the road has been a part of Mario. It was very true to Mario Kart. Again, to get into
and to be honest, if you're watching this, you know for a fact if this movie would have tanked or not did as well as, they're spending a lot of money onto this movie. If they would not have measured up to their expectations, you already know. They already had the cue cards, they already had their notes, the emails, the sticky notes lined up for every conservative commentator to talk about how wokeness destroyed this movie, how wokeness destroyed a classical, show game that we all grew up on. Dang well that would have been the first thing coming out their lips. But now that it did extremely good, the reason why this movie did good is because of the non-woke, but it was a little woke, but not too woke, because Princess Peach was a little issue, but it wasn't too woke. Like, come on, leave the movies alone. These people.
To my slight criticisms, the movie was a little bit Mario Kart focused, and it was a little bit, it was so simple and so just like straightforwardly, like this is the video game. It was almost like watching someone play a video game, where it was like, well, if you're into this, don't you want to just play the game? Like, it didn't adapt the material in a very sophisticated way, but again, it's a children's movie, so fine. There was a lot of Mario Kart, a lot of Donkey Kong. Wait, I have my notes on my other issues. Not enough Yoshi, not nearly enough Yoshi. Maybe saving that for a sequel. I think a Yoshi's Island-based sequel would be a good idea. They did not include the Koopa Kids, who are Bowser's nephews, I believe, and a niece, Wendy Koopa. They're interesting characters. They should be in any sequel.
Not enough Koopa representation. I'm hearing you loud and clear, Robbie.
Yes. I liked retaining the original motivation of Bowser, which is actually to marry Princess Peach. He loves Princess Peach and rule the world. There was a lot of Donkey Kong, so probably there'll be a spin-off Donkey Kong movie. They made Donkey Kong Cranky Kong's son, when I believe canonically he is Cranky Kong's grandson, but again, small issues.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the listeners really appreciate that level of detail and granularity, Robbie. Not enough people are really examining these crucial plot points.
Also, what age is Mario supposed to be? That was probably the part of this that left me the most flummoxed, because I know the stereotype of like, you know, middle-aged. I come from Italian ancestry, so I can, you know, I'm maligning my own people. That's all allowed. I can use anti-Italian slurs. I am part of the family. Mario and Luigi like live at home with their parents, so it would be totally fine to have, you know, middle-aged schlubby Italians living at home with mom.
What a
makes them
stereotype.
spaghetti. But they almost make them out to be like they're kids or something. Like they play
Mustachioed children?
Yeah, but obviously they look like they're adults. So I wasn't. That was kind of. There was an uncanny value.
To be honest, when I was in the movie theater, I was asking my wife the same question. Like, how old is Mario and Luigi? I mean, they got their own business. They can't be too young, but they live one day, and they sharing a room, I think, and they got everybody in there. So it's like that definitely was a little confusing.
Alley there, and like the age they're supposed to be, and the way like they're at home playing video games a lot, and it's like they're not Mario.
So you had an issue with the fact that they had adult men at home, but no issue with the accents, the lack of the iconic Mario Italian accent.
So the guy who plays Mario, Charles Martinet, did have a cameo in the movie playing another character. I thought, so it was Chris Pratt who's playing Mario, and he got criticized because he's not Italian, and he was not doing, he did like a half and half kind of accent. I did not think his voice acting didn't bother me. I also didn't think it was fantastic. The Luigi actor, who's Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, he did it great. It was fantastic.
Did the accent?
It was the Luigi voice he did was awesome. It was really good.
Okay.
So I loved that.
Well, what do you make about this other part of the argument? They went on to say that, you know, the left is shooting themselves in the foot by doing too much wokeness. They point to this controversy over Bud Light beer, who has gotten Dylan Mulvaney, who's a popular trans activist, to be on some of the cans. They said that it is hurting the company, which has been roundly disputed. There doesn't seem to be this fall off in stock price that Republicans have averred existed. And in fact, people have pointed out that Bud Light as a beer has this long history of actually being seen as a pro-gay beer, as it were. They referenced Top Gun.
It's a pro-gay beer?
Yeah, that at some point or another beer brand was like actively being anti-gay or funded by some anti-gay interest, and therefore a lot of gay people started drinking Bud Light and the alternative. It wasn't like they chose it, but like they defaulted into it, and that Bud Light sees an advertising opportunity, a selling opportunity to obviously appeal to a lot of Americans, every American, many of whom actually like and support gay people, and that there is actually economic benefit to doing some of these things, like getting someone like Dylan Mulvaney, who's extremely popular and has a ton of followers, to promote their product. Top Gun was another movie that they mentioned that was successful because it was anti-woke. The original Top Gun obviously is iconic for being a gay movie.
Not a game, the homoerotic volleyball
Yes, not
scene.
gay, just homoerotic. No, it's not just the volleyball scene.
Yeah.
Many people have observed. There's this great Tarantino clip where he's playing himself in another movie where he like walks through all of the ways in which this is a broad allegory for this, will they, won't they, we can't have each other because the times aren't right relationship between Maverick and Goose. People can be mad at it, but that was a subtext was the way so many gay stories were told at a time when we didn't have the kind of representation we have now that folks are complaining about. So what do you make of this case that the wokes are shooting themselves in the foot?
Oh, man.
I don't know. I don't care
with
that
all of
much.
these rainbows and such.
I'm not a beer drinker, so it doesn't matter to me whether Dylan Mulvaney's face is on Budweiser or not. I guess my only feedback, it was there, like she's not. It was an NCAA promotion in addition to being a beer promotion, and in a little video she did about it, she was like, I don't know the sports ball and I don't drink beer, but here now I'm the representative of this thing. So it didn't seem like maybe this was the right fit for this, but I don't care.
And yet we're all talking about Bud Light.
That's probably why it was successful.
Here's the main
that's
point
what's
right
so
here.
funny about this. I mean, I don't believe that Bud Light or any other corporation gives a fig about gay people or black people or any other thing under the sun. They wouldn't support these causes. They wouldn't slap logos on their cans if they didn't think it promoted the bottom line.
That is
so
the
idea that an
whole
armchair
point.
quarterback on some podcast has a better sense of what's going to be financially advantageous to these companies, when they, I'm sure, have done a lot of research into exactly what endorsement deals benefit them, it's really silly. And I think that they need a reminder that their personal opinions aren't necessarily the opinions of everyone else in the
both sides benefit from this because, as you point out, it's clearly a good advertising tactic because it's making because it creates a bunch of content, because then there's so many people in the conservative orbit responding to it and creating content about it, which was the whole point.
Yeah.
So now I think Brianna, I think she made a very good point. These advertisers, these movies, these commercials, these whatever, do not care. It's a good channel. Like, of course, I'm going to make my disclaimer. I don't know every single company. I haven't spoken to any CEO of any top major 500 company. Okay, I get it. But I would just assume that they don't care about you. They don't care about the situation, your economic situation, your community, nothing. Kaepernick, kneeling, loses his job, was blackballed, and I will point this out. I haven't watched a single football game ever since then because I'm still protesting. I got you, Cap. But when Kaepernick got blackballed, Nike picked him up, gave him, a couple $1 million deal. Do you think I'm gullible enough to believe that Nike really cares about police brutality, really cares about black people's struggles and what's going on in these communities that need to be talked about, discussed, and solved when it comes to the relationships of police and black and brown people in these communities? Do you think I'm really gullible to really believe Nike cares? $1 billion? I'm assuming they're $1 billion, maybe high millions, maybe billion. Yeah. Do you think I really believe they care? No. Nah, not at all. Because trust me, giving Colin Kaepernick, which I got all the love from, he got some money. To give somebody who already got a lot of money a deal to sponsor their brand and give him more money isn't helping black folks. And I mean, what did they do? Maybe come out with a commercial, maybe did a few donations here and there. I don't know what they did. What came out of that? Budweiser, I guess. Once again, I don't drink beers. They put Nick Nove, I don't know her name. Like, I honestly don't care about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They put her face on the can for a reason. They did it for the reaction. They did it for the clout. They did it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do it. That's what they did. They don't care about trans rights. They don't care about gay rights. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about my rights. They just care about the right kind of money. And that's all they want to bring in. They know these right ring, idiots is going to make videos showing off their product, enticing one side. And then the other side who's being enticed is going to be like, well, they're shooting the cans, they're burning the cans, they're disrespect. So I'm going to retaliate and buy Budweiser to show them. What is going on? Come on. And then we got people criticizing movies that have already been established since probably 99 or, the 90s. I don't know when Mario came out. But it's already been established. And when they make a few tweaks here and there, people still want to try to figure out something to argue about. Is child hunger solved? Is healthcare still a problem? Is housing and renting still just going out the roof? No pun intended. Is minimum wage, is jobs still paying crappy wages? Like, it's so many things to talk about, but we want to talk about beer cans, a print on a beer can in a fantasy movie. Only in America. Only in America you will find such discourse being talked about from people with millions of people following, subscribed, making millions of dollars, and they're wasting their time. They're wasting their energy on purpose, some on purpose, because that's all they want to talk about, because they don't have anything of substance to talk about or to offer. This is a conversation we're having. Mario being too woke. But am I wrong? Look me in my 4 eyes and tell me, am I wrong? And if you think I'm wrong, you already know what to do. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Don't be that guy. Let me know in the comments, and let's have that conversation.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.